Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video, I'll be sharing my thoughts on Nosferatu, one of the most highly anticipated horror films of 2025. I'll discuss how scary it is, whether it's worth watching, and provide an in-depth analysis and review, all without spoilers for those who haven't seen it yet. I'll highlight the aspects I found most intriguing and explore the film's deeper themes. Plus, I'll share some insights about Dracula, the central figure of Nosferatu, which might enhance your viewing experience. Nosferatu is based on Bram Stoker's classic novel Dracula and serves as a remake of the iconic 1922 silent film. But the big question is, has director Robert Eggers successfully reimagined it for modern audiences? Let's find out. Nosferatu follows the story of a newlywed woman deeply in love with her husband, until she finds herself entangled in the sinister obsession of a bloodthirsty vampire. This dark entity desires her for himself and will stop at nothing to claim her. It's a chilling tale of possession, obsession, and the terrifying grip of an immortal predator. Lily-Rose Depp, daughter of Johnny Depp, stars as Ellen, while Bill Skarsgård takes on the role of the enigmatic and terrifying Count Orlok. Nicholas Hoult plays Ellen's husband Thomas, and Willem Dafoe appears as Professor Franz. Is it worth watching? Critics and audiences alike have responded positively to the film. The last time I checked, it had a solid score of around 7.5 out of 10. Now, if you're wondering whether Nosferatu is truly scary, personally, I didn't find it terrifying. However, that doesn't mean it won't be unsettling for some, especially younger viewers or those with a more sensitive disposition. So, is Nosferatu a worthy addition to the horror genre? Let's dive into my full analysis and review. If I were to give a more detailed opinion on Nosferatu, and later dive into the elements that shaped my thoughts, I believe it would enhance your appreciation of the film. First and foremost, Robert Eggers is a masterful director who meticulously crafts every frame. His dedication to aesthetics is evident. He treats each scene as a work of art, ensuring that his vision never strays from his high creative standards. That being said, while Nosferatu aims to be scary, I personally didn't find it frightening or even shocking. However, that doesn't mean the film lacks impact. Instead of delivering traditional horror, it offers something visually mesmerizing. The cinematography has a lot to say beyond the story itself. The film evokes the feel of classical theater while still being captivating for modern audiences. The performances are unconventional, yet they don't pull you out of the film's world. They work within its eerie, Gothic atmosphere. And that brings us to an important point. Nosferatu is a Gothic film. But what does that actually mean? What is Gothic cinema? In reality, Gothic art is primarily associated with architecture, characterized by grand windows, pointed arches, and an imposing dramatic aesthetic often seen in churches. Over time, Gothic influences extended into literature, defining works that blend horror and romance, Dracula being a prime example. Eventually, these themes transitioned into cinema, bringing with them signature visual elements such as Gothic-style architecture, dramatic contrasts of light and shadow, and a pervasive atmosphere of darkness. Narratively, Gothic films often explore love, horror, madness, and psychological struggles, all of which are central to Nosferatu. Unique take on Dracula. One of the most fascinating aspects of Nosferatu is its portrayal of Dracula. This version of the character isn't just menacing. He's fully capable of being unsettlingly eerie without relying on humor. The makeup, sound design, and performances are all well executed, making Dracula feel both otherworldly and deeply disturbing. The film's visual execution is outstanding. The makeup, costumes, and cinematography all contribute to an immersive experience. Every camera movement feels intentional, leading to beautifully composed shots. Eggers, as a filmmaker, understands that cinema is a visual medium. His goal is to communicate emotion through imagery rather than dialogue. Light, color, space, architecture, these all play a role in shaping Nosferatu's mood. But there's another critical element that heightens the film's atmosphere: the seasons and their symbolic role in storytelling. The changing environment, the use of seasonal elements, and the way nature interacts with the film's themes all contribute to a deeply immersive cinematic experience. When Thomas leaves his hometown, the setting around him is full of life, bathed in the warmth of spring. But as soon as he arrives at his destination, the scene shifts abruptly to snowy mountains and the harshness of winter. This sudden contrast isn't just visual, it immediately gives us a sense that something ominous is unfolding. If Nosferatu isn't scary, what makes it so captivating? For many, especially devoted cinephiles, Nosferatu is an incredibly gripping film, not just for its stunning visuals, but for its eerie and poetic storytelling. We accept Dracula as the villain, a sinister force trying to steal a newlywed away from her husband. But what truly draws us in is the question: how will this young couple, with their limited human strength, stand against a ruthless, obsessive vampire? The entire film feels dreamlike, as if both the environment and its characters are trapped under a dark spell. There's an unmistakable sense of evil lurking beneath every scene. Watching Nosferatu is like stepping into a Gothic nightmare, a journey through history and horror wrapped in a beautifully unsettling tale. The legacy of Dracula and the vampire genre. Now let's talk about Dracula and the broader vampire mythos. Understanding the origins of this iconic figure can add another layer of appreciation to the film. Bram Stoker's Dracula was first published over 120 years ago, and since then the character has been adapted into over 330 films. However, Stoker wasn't the first to write about vampires. What he did was define the modern vampire archetype. His novel was so influential that to this day, when people think of vampires, they think of Dracula. Dracula has become a legendary figure across literature, cinema, and even video games. But what exactly makes him so compelling? Who is Dracula? According to the film's lore, Dracula was once human, a powerful sorcerer who practiced black magic. After his death, dark forces resurrected him as an immortal creature of the night, ensuring that his reign of terror would never end. His very existence serves as a cycle of evil, continuing to spread darkness through the world. Despite his terrifying nature, Dracula possesses an undeniable allure. He has the power to control minds, seduce victims, and instill both fear and fascination in those who cross his path. And of course, his survival depends on one thing: drinking blood, the defining trait of a vampire. Third, Dracula is highly intelligent and strategic. Fourth, despite being a monstrous creature, he is profoundly lonely, always searching for companionship and love. Though he cannot truly express love, he deeply desires it. Now, what are Dracula's weaknesses? One of the most important things to know is that sunlight is deadly to him. This is why he sleeps in a coffin, to shield himself from even the slightest exposure to light. Another way to destroy him is with a wooden or iron stake driven through his heart. These weaknesses are central to the film and play a significant role in its narrative tension. Final verdict. If I had to rate Nosferatu, directed by Robert Eggers, I'd give it a solid 7.5 out of 10. I highly recommend watching it, but not with the expectation of being scared. Instead, approach it as an immersive experience, a dark, haunting fairy tale, a gripping historical journey, and a visually stunning Gothic masterpiece. I truly hope you found this video helpful. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you never miss an update. See you in the next one.